our first session at 3, so I'm super excited. It's so nice. So I'm going to give you all a little tour of the space that I'll be in for the week. It's apparently really close to campus. So it's about 1 o'clock right now on Sunday. And a really nice desk space. And then a nice seating area, mirror. And then that is a pull-out bed. That when we walk across here, we have a little kit iron and all the usual things. And here is the bathroom. And then we move in to, there's a little sliding door, so got my packet there, a little TV, and then y'all, check, I am absolutely really Let's do this. It's a whole moment. A whole moment. That button isn't working, so let me try this one over here. Right. Like top notch. Yeah. What do we say? So once you put it on, you can't take it. So we're headed up with Jessica. We're going to a blindfolded, let's see the blindfold, Jessica. A blindfolded dinner. Hey y'all, so we just wrapped up day 1 of the program and it was absolutely amazing. So I'm just gonna give you all just a quick recap of the day, maybe one of my big takeaways, and yeah, check back in tomorrow. So I got in, I showed y'all the room and everything. We had to be downstairs by 2:35. So met in the lobby and the shuttle picked us up to take us to campus, and we started off, walked into this room very much like your traditional graduate level class, stadium seating, names, you know, at the edge of the table, like our, you know, names were already positioned out. So it's like walk in, find your name, find your seat. I sat next to Denise, and she was so amazing. I'll have to add in the video, y'all, where y'all can see. I sit down and I notice she has on this like amazing jewelry, like these huge rings, these beautiful silver bracelets. And so I comment and she looks me dead in the face, like just telling her like, you know, hey, these are so beautiful. And she's like, yeah, life's too short to wear small jewelry. I was not ready. I'm like, you know what? You are so right. So all kinds of amazing people, you all. I met some really cool professionals today, like just so good people in the room. So there are probably 75 of us in this cohort, and people from all over. I mean, Brazil, Nigeria, Hong Kong, Russia, Mexico, Canada, all kinds of different industries. So the DOD, clergy, all kinds of chiefs of this and that, executive director of this, vice president of that. So introductions were interesting. We actually ran out of time on introductions before we got to my row. So I'll probably be introducing myself tomorrow to the room, but so much expertise in the room. So Robert Livingston is one of the professors that's leading the work. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So he led the session today. I'll just kind of give you some of the highlights from what we talked about. So he started off talking about the benefits of diversity, why diversity is important, what are some of the barriers to diversity, and like really digging into, I mean, obviously we're here at Harvard. There are a number of Harvard professors that have studied this work. So like the data around it, not just the moral case for it. So so many great references from the session. We talked about the myth of meritocracy, which I thought was so interesting as it relates to equity. We had a really good conversation around equity, and then he even shared with us, so Dr. Livingston shared with us, of course, about his background and everything, but he is releasing a book that comes out next year, and he shared with us the method, the framework really for his book that is a method for how to find solutions for problems. So not just problems related to diversity, but really any problem. An awesome framework. So I'm excited to actually grab his book, but then also to get like a preview of it while I'm here. And then y'all, so after that session, which was from like, let me like pull out my agenda so I can like give you all the, and y'all can see like it's gonna be a packed week. So that was from 3 to 5. A lot of really great discussion, some amazing teaching in 2 hours. Like I could have been done after that. It was so good. But y'all, afterwards we had dinner in the dark. So there's this organization called ETI, Engagement Through Integration, and they led us through a blindfolded dinner at a table with, I guess there were 6 of us total at the table, simulating what it is like, a portion of what it is like to navigate with vision impairment. So we talked not just about diversity in a broad sense today, but through that dinner, and it was a facilitated experience with certain conversations. Like you could not share your name, you couldn't share your hometown, where you worked, or your title. So it naturally forced you into much deeper conversations that really forced us to be probably more vulnerable than we would have been had we not been blindfolded, and had we been able to lean on our corporate experiences to frame up our bias and our mindsets and our judgments about the people at the table. So it was so cool not to have any clue who you were sitting next to, and to be able to talk about, you know, issues around, you know, what are the things that people think of when they see you? What is your background? You know, without leaning on your career, and sharing about, you know, what are things that society says about you, and how does that impact you? How do those how does that unconscious bias and those assumptions, how does that impact you? How do you internalize that, and then how do you recognize it and then push through it? So it was an awesome discussion. And then at the end, after we had all this conversation, I mean, people shared like some really personal things. You can imagine if you are at a table with people and you can't do what we naturally do, which is lean on our career as the basis for the conversation, and also like frame up in our mind what we think about the people that we're engaging with based on what they're telling us about our career. Like it naturally led to much more personal conversations. And so at the end, to take off the blindfolds after you'd sat there and had, you know, an hour, 20-minute or so conversation with people, maybe more like an hour-ish conversation with people, and then to look around the table and be like, wow, it was awesome. So I am back in the room, and I'm just going to review my readings for tomorrow and soak all of this in and share this first day vlog with y'all. So I appreciate y'all being here. Let me know if you have any questions over on Instagram. I put up the little question box, so if you have specific questions, or even if they're like things that you want to see, so I can make sure I include those in the vlog this week, let me know. I will be here through Saturday morning, and then on Saturday I'm headed to Dallas to hang out with Boss Woman Media, and I'm so excited about the 3rd annual Boss Woman of the Year event. So stay tuned. See y'all later. Take care.